we left the last lesson on creating an S3 bucket. Today we're going to show you how to create a user that won't have access, but then we'll grant it access using policies. So let's go ahead and create a user. You can go into the IAM account. I'm already there, but I'll just do the motions for you. Oh, and you'll notice I have split screen. This is a private browser on the right. Just to be clear, the accounts are the same. So the left-hand side under my name, MT Gingrass, and the right-hand side will be under my new username. They're the same account, just logged in with two different user names. Let's go to IAM users. You'll see I have two users here, and I'm logged in now under my name, MT Gingrass, which has administrative access. In fact, let's take a look at that. I clicked on it. Administrative access right here, if I pull down, the JSON file says basically allow every action on every resource. Even administrator access has controls, so the root user can restrict me, a explicit disallow can restrict me, and organizational guardrails at the organization level can restrict what administrators can do. So it's not complete full access to everything, but it is still very powerful and you have to be careful with it. Anyways, we're going to create a user. I have that ability on the left-hand side to do that. So go back to IAM users, create user. We'll call it user S3. Make sure to give it access to the console because we're only going to be working in the console today. You can create a password if you'd like. I'll also clear this check mark for recommended new password because this is a lab temporary account and I know the password already. Click next. All right, things to notice. Right now, the user is being set as S3 or user S3. Right now, these are the user groups that I've created. You might not have these, you might have them. But either way, this user is not part of any group at all, none. That's okay, we're gonna click next. Pretty much empty over here, create the user, done. That user has been created. On the right-hand side, private browsing. So if you have Firefox or Chrome, figure out how to do a private browser and you're good to go. To log in on the right-hand side. So sign into console. And I'm still logged in as MT Gingrass on the left, don't forget. You might have an admin user that we created in the past. So let's do a login here. Luckily, my account ID is still there. So we called it user / or -S3. If you don't have this number, don't forget it's up here in the left-hand corner of your console. So type that in, get your password in there. On mine, it says access denied to list applications, etc., etc. I have no access for anything basically. But let's type in S3 up here. And you'll see this generic window might pop up. Go back to the menu here and this little hamburger icon. Let's click on general purpose buckets. You don't have permission to list the buckets. I can't even list to see what buckets there are, right? So now let's fix that. Let's go back to the return to user list here on the left-hand side. Don't forget my administrative policy allows me to have broad access to enable all the IAM resources for this demonstration. So user S3, click on that. Now under permissions tab, which should be the first one highlighted, you'll see that there are no policies, none. So let's add one. We're going to add a permission, add permissions. Now, again, it's forcing me almost to say user group. Here are the two groups I have. You can copy permissions, you can attach policies directly. So I can find, look, I clicked on attach policies directly. I could type in S3 and maybe down here it says Amazon S3 full access. I want to reemphasize why we use groups versus individual access. Everything is a trade-off, and the answer isn't always explicitly use a group. But let's just say that I've granted the wrong access to 25 different users individually, and I fix that problem, I have to go through 25 different users and update the permissions. So if you have a group of 25 users with permissions, yes, you can broadly make a mistake across 25 users, but you can also fix a mistake across 25 users. It's a management decision. I think most organizations out there will use groups over individuals, but there is always exceptions to every rule. So I don't want you to think that because I said it, it's explicit. I mean, it allows you to do it for a reason, but we're not going to do individual access. We're going to start with a group access. Let's create a group. So add users to group. Oh, we don't have a group for what I want to do. So let's create a new one. Don't forget, we're jumping back and forth between different interfaces here. Create a group. And this group, we'll call it S3, or let's call it group S3 full access, something like that anyways. And again, we'll do S3. Now, you can create this from scratch, but this is a handy dandy way to find these policies that are already kind of put together for you. So Amazon S3 full access, Amazon S3 files, read-only access, all these different policies you can check out. So let's click the plus icon and read what it says. Just like the admin, it's kind of very broad here. It's allow S3 all actions and the S3 object lambda all actions. So everything you can do with an S3 bucket, we're going to allow. And for which resource? Well, right now it says all of them. For now, let's just make it that simple. Let's just add this permission. Although you might, well, eventually we're going to change what we put in here because we don't want to allow all access. What if you just want read access? But for today, keeping this short, create user group, done. Now we're back at the add permission screen for user S3. So it gave us back there. Now let's grant them full access by adding that user S3, to a group called S3 full access that we just created. So when you create a second user, a third user, or your partner in crime wants to be S3 full access, you just add them to the group. The group has the policy where it can read every S3 bucket, etc. Okay, we're going to add that permission. Boom, boom, boom. Everything's set over here. Let's refresh the one on the right. Let's see what happens. Don't have permissions. Refresh again. Ah, look at that. Will you look at that? Take a look at that. So the bucket that we just created, I believe in the previous tutorial, was the bucket tutorial repo. We can go in there. Now we should have access to do anything. We can upload. Look at, there's that screenshot. I can do a temporary, I can do a, check that. I can do a temporary pre-signed URL and put it for 1 minute. Create the pre-signed, it's copied to my clipboard. So now this particular user has access to that screenshot and that S3 bucket. I can do anything I want. I can delete it. Oops, that'd be bad. But I have given this user all that access. And that's it for this video. Just wanted to give you access and show you how it works through groups. Now again, you could have done that through individual, but we're trying to keep this more realistic and go with group policies.